Hello, Nancy.
Do you know much about Maya glyphs?
You've got me there. I know Spanish, English, Portuguese, and several indigenous languages, including Quiche and Nahuatl, but I have yet to learn the language of glyphs.
Have you heard? The Bacal carving was stolen from the museum.
Well, I heard the alarms going off, but it wasn't until Henry called me that I heard the news.
Henrik called you? When? Where was he? I've been looking for him.
He called shortly after the robbery. I presumed he was calling from the museum. Is that so strange?
You don't sound very concerned about all of this.
I was running late. I just figured somebody tripped a wire and I kept going. Whew.
I'll need to alert the police so they can ask you some questions.
I have diplomatic immunity, so I do not have to answer any questions. But I will, because I have nothing to hide.
Don't you care about the disappearance of such a rare Maya artifact?
That artifact was lost to me as soon as it left Mexican soil. So my friend Pacal goes underground for a while until he is sold again. Suddenly, he turns up in Amsterdam or Hong Kong. Unless he is rightfully repatriated to Mexico, what's the difference?
I should get back to the museum.
Yes, you should.
It's a fiasco, just as I feared. Oh, I'm sick about the whole thing.
Yes, your fears seem to have been quite visionary.
I was in the museum when it happened.
Do you think it's the same person who carried out those other thefts?
That awful red hand was left on Prudence Rutherford's jewelry box in Topeka, and on the display case in the museum in New Mexico. What's the chance they're not connected?
Do you know Prudence Rutherford personally?
Oh, we saw each other at functions now and then. Poor Prudence. She adored that necklace.
What's the name of the museum in New Mexico?
The Chaco Canyon Cultural Center. They had a beautiful collection up there, worth a bundle, too. I appraised some pieces for them a few years back.
Why do you think the thief is leaving this red handprint?
To be a gruesome scoundrel?
The Bacal thief's glyph message translates to, "The magician suffers yellow death." What in the world do you think that means?
You've got me there.
I'd better get going.
Bye now.
Come in.
Need something?
Apparently, a Topeka woman named Prudence Rutherford has recently been visited by a red-handed thief, too. Do you have any idea how I might get in touch with her?
Afraid I can't help you there.
I've got work to do.
Bye.
Hey! 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 Hey!
Hut. 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 hut, 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 hut,
I should put in my temple key card. Okay, I've got a graph of the chemical used for the handprint. Now I've got to match it up with a known substance. That's it! S stands for sulfur. According to this chart, Hg stands for mercury. So the handprint was made from mercury and sulfur.
You have no voicemail. Press 9 for an outside line.
Boswell, Jackson, and Rose, how may I direct your call?
This is Nancy Drew, calling for Franklin Rose, please.
Just a minute, please.
Nancy, to what do I owe the pleasure of this call?
I need to contact a woman named Prudence Rutherford. I noticed she's on the board of the Topeka Commission for the Arts, and that they've donated money to Beach Hill. Any idea how I might track her down?
Well, you're in luck. It so happens that Prudence and I sat on the panel of judges for the Kansas Speak No Evil Mime competition for 3 years in a row, back when I lived in Wichita. How's that for a small world?
Dad never told me you lived in Wichita.
Indeed I did. I haven't talked to Prudence in about 10 years, but let's see if I still have her in this old dinosaur of a Rolodex. Ah, yes, here we go. Got a pen? It's area code 785-555-7279. What's this all about?
I think Ms. Rutherford had a run-in with a red-handed thief, much like the one who took the Pakal carving.
Ha! You're a real pro, Nancy. Say, why don't I call ahead and let Prudence know what's going on? That way I can say hello, and she'll be expecting you.
Now I think you're reading my mind, Mr. Rose. Thanks.
Not a problem, dear.
There, now I can start putting this together. That's done.
Need something?
I did the chemical analysis you suggested. That red hand was printed with a compound containing mercury and sulfur. Does that mean anything to you?
Sure, cinnabar. The Maya would rub it into their most important carvings to add definition to the artist's lines.
Where would a person get a supply of cinnabar?
We use cinnabar here at the museum the same way the Maya did, to keep things as authentic as possible. Henrik orders those kinds of supplies, but we've been out of stock for quite a while. The last I heard, there was some kind of holdup with the distributor.
I've got work to do.
See you around.
You have no voicemail.
Keep it real. Max speaking.
Hi, I'm the new deputy curator over at Beach Hill Museum. I wonder if you could answer a couple of questions for me about our ordering history.
Well, hello there, Beach Hill. Hey, you're not Sunny June. Whatever happened to that guy? I suppose he caught a ride on a flying saucer, huh? What a riot. I'm sorry. Anyway, you don't need to reorder, do you? Unless you ate last week's shipment for breakfast, that is.
Do you know who placed that order?
Well, the initials on the order are J.R.
You're sure it was last week?
Oh, that's what it says here.
Was the package shipped to the museum?
Oh? Oops, I guess we didn't ship it at all. It looks like the package was picked up here at the warehouse.
So there hasn't been a holdup at the distributor or anything like that?
Hold up. Oh, I don't know where you heard that. We've got enough mercuric sulfide in-house to sink a ship.
Can you remember anything about the person who picked up the package?
I sure can't. Guess I must have been at lunch or something.
Well, thanks for your help.
Sure thing. I hope there wasn't any problem with the stuff, was there? We only used the top-grade mercuric sulfide.
Judging by the impression it left, I'd have to agree that the quality was fine.
Well, you sound a little green in the chemicals department, if you don't mind my saying so. I hope you know that mercuric sulfide is highly toxic. Makes you crazy.
Well, I have heard that mercury poisoning can cause hallucinations and other symptoms of psychosis.
Oh, looks like I've got another call coming in here. You give us a call in about 4 months or so when you start to run out, okie doke? And don't forget to keep it real.
Come in. Need something?
I've got work to do.
Semper ubi sub ubi.
You've reached the Chaco Canyon Cultural Center. The center is now closed. Regular hours are from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. 7 days a week, except on major national holidays, when we are closed.
Hello?
It's me again.
Nancy Drew, you will never guess who the cat just dragged in.
Who?
Frank and Joe Hardy.
You're kidding. I haven't talked to those two in months.
Let me tell you, they're as cute as ever. George and I were just telling them about your latest case, and, judging by the way they're hovering around me at the moment, I think they want to say hello.
Sure, put them on.
Hi, Nancy, it's Frank.
Frank Hardy, what in the world are you doing in River Heights?
Well, Joe and I just finished up a case out west, and we're taking a few days to drive back to Bayport. So we stopped in River Heights to say hello to our favorite girls.
Well, that's awfully sweet of you.
We should have known you'd be out there chasing trouble.
Joe, is that you?
The one and only. How's it going, Nancy?
Oh, just knee-deep in another case. You know the feeling.
Do we ever? There's one around every corner, isn't there?
You can say that again.
There's one around every corner, isn't there?
All right, Joe. Cheeky as ever, I see.
It's the secret of my irresistible charm.
Oh, brother. Listen, Nancy, we're taking off again tomorrow, but if you want to talk shop about this case, why don't you give us a call on the car phone? The number is 973-555-3393.
Sounds great. I'll do that.
Go get him, Nancy.
Good luck.
Hello?
It's me again.
Hey, Nancy. What's the latest, Nan?
Taylor Sinclair and Alejandro Del Rio have both earned a place on my suspect list.
Why?
Both admitted to being in the building at the time when the alarm went off.
Did they act defensive about it?
Not really. They both act as though they have nothing to hide.
Do you think they could be working together?
Judging by Alejandro's opinion of Taylor, I highly doubt it. But then again, stranger things have happened.
Yeah, like in the 10th grade when Bess turned purple in the middle of her class presentation on greenhouse gases.
George, would you kindly put a sock in it?
Why would the thief keep leaving that awful red handprint at every crime scene?
Talk about a creepy trademark.
Oh, I'm just glad I haven't seen it. With my sensitive psyche, that type of thing is like a 10-year warranty for nightmares.
Does it have any meaning in Maya culture?
Not that I know of.
Well, somebody ought to know. You're surrounded by experts in Maya culture, for gosh sakes.
But maybe it doesn't mean anything at all. Maybe the thief just thinks it's glamorous.
Sure. I mean, who really wants anonymity after all? Thieves have to have style. Something to set them apart, right?
It's not just any old villain that gets a book deal these days.
Detective Drew, requesting hint, please.
I don't have a clue.
In other words,
Go fish!
I'll talk to you later, ladies.
Watch out for stale cookies!
Yes, hello?
Hi, this is Nancy Drew, calling from Washington, D.C. I'm trying to reach Prudence Rutherford, please.
Oh, yes, Franklin told me you'd be calling. Such dreadful news about Beach Hill. I will do everything in my power to help you catch those rapscallions. To think how they violated the sanctity of my domicile. Good heavens!
I'm sorry to hear about your loss. What can you tell me about the necklace?
I can't even think about it. Oh, just the very thought of my precious necklace gone, stranded, orphaned, and in the hands of some dirty stranger makes my blood boil.
Was the necklace a gift?
I inherited it from my mother-in-law. But you see, the necklace means much more to me than just a handful of priceless rubies.
Did the necklace have a lot of sentimental value?
Yes, I'm afraid it did. I had the necklace restrung to include an exquisite jade carving as the centerpiece, a genuine artifact of the ancient Maya. The carving is not only one of a kind, but a Rutherford family heirloom given to me by my great-grandfather when I was just a little girl.
Does the carving have any meaning that you know of?
It features a rare glyph. No one's been able to give me a precise translation, but most epigraphers have agreed that it has something to do with a snake, the color green, and the direction south. It's terribly fascinating.
Do you think the thief or thieves had any idea of what they were stealing?
Oh, they must have known. The rest of my valuables were left untouched. Frankly, I don't know whether to be grateful or insulted.
When did you realize that you'd been robbed?
The first thing I saw when I opened my eyes was this positively ghoulish red handprint on the wall. I nearly jumped out of my skin.
A red handprint was left at the scene of the crime at Beach Hill, too. Ms. Rutherford, I'm almost certain that these robberies were committed by the same person.
But why? What is so special about these carvings?
Miss Rutherford, I'd like you to meet Beach Hill's epigrapher, Henrik Vanderheun. Is there any chance you could fly out to Washington for a couple of days?
I'm afraid that's out of the question. The annual Corn Growers' Ball is just 3 weeks away, and I'm the head of the steering committee. Besides, this whole thing has left me so out of sorts. I'm in no condition to travel.
I understand, Miss Rutherford. Is there any other way you could get me some more detailed information about the jade carving?
I can do better than a photo. The insurance company made this dreadful replica of the necklace with the idea that I would wear such a thing to public functions. Please. But I could send that to you if you'd like.
Oh, that would be wonderful. How soon could you have it here?
You'll have it tomorrow or the next day. My secretary will have the address of the museum. Now, if that is all you require, young lady, I will need to attend to other pressing matters.
Thanks a million, Miss Rutherford. I won't let you down.
Call me Prudence. Oh, and Nancy, when you find the villains who did this to me, do me a favor and give them a sound thrashing.
You're coming through loud and clear. Bye.
This is Joe.
Hey, Joe, it's Nancy.
Hey, Nancy. Any leads?
As usual, I've waded into a swamp of suspicious activity.
Oh, yeah? What's up?
Since the theft, Henrik is nowhere to be found, but he left me this note asking me to try out all of the activities in the temple exhibit.
Why would he ask you to do that at a time like this?
Well, supposedly he just wants to make sure all of the activities can be successfully completed, so the temple exhibit is ready to open to the public.
So it's sort of like he's assigned you to do some fact-checking.
Yeah, sort of.
It could be a trap.
Or maybe he's trying to lead you to some clues about the Pakal carving. Better check it out.
Isn't that temple exhibit full of cool activities for kids? I bet it'll be a blast. As long as you don't get strung up by your toes.
Joe, does she need that? Does she?
This investigation is stalling. Any thoughts on how to get it back in gear?
I'm fresh out of ideas.
Yeah, me too.
Talk to you later, fellas.
Later, Nancy.
Bye.
It's locked. Henrik!
Amnesia? Wow. Henrik must have taken a real nosedive off that pyramid.
Do you think he just fell, Nancy?
Or was he pushed?
Sounds like you need to find out about hospital visiting hours.
Yeah, but you'd better get the lowdown from Joanna first.
George is right. She is your supervisor, after all.